In this video today, we are going to be doing a tier list for post-ban Set 2 Spirit Forge Riftbound. So we had the 7 banned cards come in: Reaver's Row, Obelisk, Dreaming Tree, Cold Shot, Scrap Heap, Draven Vanquisher, and Fight or Flight. Genuinely, those 7 bans were heavier than expected. They have shaken up the meta a lot. We've not had any major regional tournaments yet, and it's still fresh, but in my opinion, there's going to be some quite drastic changes to the meta. Draven was very dominant. He wasn't necessarily winning every tournament, but he had the highest win percentage, highest conversion rate, and was dominating the top 8. He wasn't the only viable deck, in my opinion, but he was by far the most consistent, which is really important in TCG. So, we're going to do an updated tier list, and this obviously is going to be based on my opinion of what I know of the game, what I think will happen, and I've read a lot of different posts, discussions from pro players, or just high-level players talking about what they expect the meta to be moving forward. So this video is opinion-based. I'm going to be putting that across, and obviously I really enjoy you guys commenting, giving your opinion. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Is there anything that you think is really going to change in this new post-ban meta? Yeah, so let's get into it. And if you do like these type of videos, tier lists, deck discussions, gameplay analysis, tutorials, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. Once I get to 1,000, I can actually earn money from the channel. And yeah, I'm really enjoying putting the content out for you guys. So, Kai'Sa, we're going straight with an S tier. Kai'Sa for me was already borderline S tier. She won a Chinese regional. She does quite well consistently. She was very good into Draven, to be fair. So that's not really changed. She'll be even better into Draven now. But it was already a top tier matchup for her. And there is an argument that losing that really favourable matchup, because you're probably not going to see as many Dravens, might hurt Kai'Sa a bit. However, she's not purple. She has lost 2 of her battlefields in Reaver's Row and Obelisk. But I don't think she was massively relying on either of them. I think Reaver's probably hurts her more. Not quite to the level it hurts Draven, but she's still an incredible deck. She's not lost any of the purple stuff. The hit to purple probably pushes her up more than losing her battlefields does. I think the bad matchup for her is Aurelia. Aurelia has lost Fight or Flight, though, which is really good for Kai'Sa. So we're going to put Kai'Sa in as S tier. Darius, putting his C tier. No hits really at all to him. If you saw my Death Knell Darius video I did yesterday, I think that is a viable option for him. I think he does get better in set 3, especially with like Sacrifice and cards like that. I think Darius in set 3 could be B/C tier with this Death Knell stuff. Borderline B tier now. I think the Death Knell stuff, honestly, when it goes off, is really good. It's just not the most consistent. And Darius didn't get any hits, but I still don't think it's enough to push him too high. But I think if he had his set 3 cards, and he could potentially beat it. Annie. I'm going to go B tier for Annie. It's probably low B tier. Annie's really taken a bad hit with these cards. Scrap Heap was huge for her. She didn't really use Cold Shot, but Scrap Heap and Fight or Flight were 6 cards in a deck, basically. Annie's still got a very powerful legend. Purple doesn't suddenly just die. It's still very good. But I think while she was probably high B to mid-low A tier, this has definitely pushed her down into B tier. So hurt Annie quite a bit. Lee Sin, C tier. Green and orange is quite a good combo of colours, but Lee Sin's champs are not great. His signature is decent, but lacks a place really in the meta. So Lee Sin, we're not putting too high. Leona. I'm putting her into B tier. I think some of these changes have really helped her. I think Fight or Flight was a major hurt to her. The nerf to other colours is pretty bad. I do think that none of these affect Leona negatively, and I think Leona does have some pretty viable strategies. I think in set 3, she's definitely going to get some good love as well. Volibear, C tier. Fight or Flight being hurt definitely helps Volley. I think Volley, though, needed Obelisk. Obelisk was a really good battlefield for him, so losing that's definitely hurt him. He's all about ramping. I just don't think Volley really suits the meta right now. I do think the Volley Aurora decks, when they go off, can be big, but I've played quite a lot against Volley. I really don't have an issue playing that deck. Jinx. Honestly, C or D tier. I'm probably going to go C. I don't think there's really going to be much in the end of D tier. D tier to me basically means borderline unplayable. Jinx losing Scrap Heap was huge. That was such a big card for her. Fight or Flight was really important for Jinx as well, just like any purple deck. So really hurt her. Yasuo, B tier. He, in some ways, benefits it arguably from Fight or Flight being gone because others don't get it, and he kind of has it with his Legend. However, it's not on their turn, so it is a nerf to him. But Yasuo's got a very, very good colour combo. We're going to end up putting Aurelia in S tier. Yasuo's championed Legend isn't that much worse than Aurelia. That would just mean he goes to C tier, so it's still a solid deck. We'll put him above Leona. Ari. I'm going to put Ari into A tier. Losing Fight or Flight helps Ari quite a bit. There's far less big stuff against purple that she has to defy. Helps her a lot more to hold. Ari's got some really solid cards. Thousand Tail Watcher is an incredible card. She's got some really good stuff for holding. I think the nerfs to the other stuff really have elevated her quite a bit. MF, B tier. Fight or Flight was a quite nice one for her. I don't think she's that consistent at the moment. She's borderline B and A tier. Cold Shot as well was one of the cards that MF Aurora used quite a bit to try and get the Aurora quicker. So has her MF. Still good and viable, but I think not as consistent, which is an issue. Set. I'm going to put Set in as an A tier. Purple was Set's worst nightmare. Rebuke is still an issue. Might not be as much in Set 3. I always think in Set 3, Set Brawler could become an absolute powerhouse. Set Brawl, I mean, Set the boss, but the Brawler card's very good. Having Repulse to be able to stop Rebukes. No more Fight or Flights that Set can't stop. He is going to be very tough to play against. I think a very good Legend now that could honestly do quite well at regional tournaments. Victor. I'm putting him in S tier. I think Victor's benefited a lot from this. He didn't use Reavers. He didn't use Dreaming Tree. He didn't always even use Obelisks. Sometimes people do, sometimes don't. No hurt from the purple cards. These only help him. One of his worst matchups, in my opinion, was mid-range Draven. I think Victor beats mid-range Draven probably now for the most part, or at least it's an okay matchup for him. So Victor's really elevated. I already had him at A tier. I think Victor has a chance at winning a regional. I think that Victor is also pretty good into the Aurelia matchup. Garen, D tier. He is a definite D tier for me. His Legend sucks. His Champions suck. His Signature sucks. His colours are one of the worst combos as of Set 2. I do think in Set 3, Orange Yellow is a lot better as a combo. Gets a lot more stuff it needs. But yeah, you're only playing Garen to get a best of or to Trop. Teemo, C tier. Borderline D tier. Fight or Flight was such an important card. Honestly, up there for Teemo's most important card. Losing that's massive. You can't play the Miracle variations anymore. I think it's really, really hurt. Lucian, A tier. Lucian, Fight or Flight was a big hurt against him. Purple was a big issue for him. Lucian didn't use Reaver's Row or Dreaming Tree. I sometimes used Obelisk. So Lucian is in a very strong position after this, in my opinion. I think Lucian will probably do very well at some of the regionals coming up. And it's a good solid deck anyway. That was probably high B, low A before. Jax. I'm going to put low A tier. I think Jax is very good. Very solid. Again, purple's one of the ones that hurt him. The decks, the battlefields that have been taken away. You might have used Dreaming Tree on Jax sometimes, I think. But I think Jax very solid now. Master Yi, A tier. Again, a lot of the same reasons for decks that I'm putting up. The ones that they struggled against have been hurt. Rumble, C tier. I do think Rumble does get a bit better now with this. Rumble might be borderline for its higher C tier. Fight or Flight really hurt some of the stuff he wanted to do. Doesn't really lose much at all off of the bans. I don't think it pushes him into S tier though. Aurelia. Aurelia for me is going to be S tier. However, there are some issues. Obelisk going definitely hurts her. She could use it as a game 1 go first to get a sneaky turn 1 potentially. She'll never get sneaky's turn 1 now. She used to get games where she'd play against people going second with Obelisk and she'd get sneaky turn 1. It's going to make it a lot harder for that. On top of that, Dreaming Tree was a huge battlefield for her. But in my opinion, her worst matchup was Draven. That was the only matchup that I felt on Aurelia that was quite favoured against her. I think Victor does beat her on average, but it's definitely winnable. I think now losing Dreaming Tree does hurt her, but she's lost her worst matchup. I think she wins that matchup fairly consistently now. There is a bit of an issue. It's not a 0 tier deck. That's the best deck in a country mile. Nothing can get near it. She will struggle for draw power if she doesn't get the Stellar Core now. So that is a potential issue. But I think Aurelia just does so many things well. I think, in my opinion, it's probably the number one deck now. Draven. I'm still putting him in A tier. I don't think all the bans that have clearly been targeted at making Draven much worse suddenly make him a useless deck. He's still probably got the best legend in the game. He's still got a very good colour combo. Losing Reaver's Row and the Chosen Champ are huge. The Chosen Champ, I just don't understand the ban. I don't think it was warranted. I think he would have honestly still been A tier and not S tier with the Firefly and his Battlefield ban. But all the bans together have lowered him. I think he's high to mid A tier. I still think he's viable. I still think he could win a tournament. I think he's still very solid. A tier for me is pretty much anything in that I think would potentially be able to win a tournament. And yeah, I think Draven's very good. Riposte in Fiora is massive. The fact now that you don't have to play around Fight or Flight, the only big purple stuff you have to really play around on Fiora is probably Rebuke. She can do that with Riposte. Fiora is a very solid deck. Yes, I said the colour combo is not great. However, the reason we've got these two here is their Legend, Chosen Champ, and Signatures are actually very good. And their synergy with these colours actually works quite well. Garen's doesn't. So I think these are two pretty viable decks now, similar play styles. Looks. Gonna go low B. She's pretty good. I do think she struggles against a couple of these decks though. Really early aggro from Victor, deflect from Aurelia. I think she's got some good stuff, but I think she's getting worse in set 3 in my opinion. Rek'Sai, probably high B tier. Purple getting nerfs massive for Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai did struggle against some of those matchups, especially when Rek'Sai went to do a big push and just gets flighted back. So more love for Rek'Sai has helped that deck come onto line a bit more. I still don't think though these B tiers are going to really threaten the meta too much. Renata Glass, probably going to go D tier. She can't go in the same tier as Garen. That's not fair. She's really hit and miss though. I think the Renata Glass games that go well, you can snowball a bit. The games that go bad can go really bad. I don't think she's that viable at this point. Ornn, pretty similar. I just don't think his deck's got enough. It's too slow. I'd be interested to see set 3 with some of the more holdy type stuff if that can help. But yeah, I just think one of the issues Ornn really has is that his unique gear is amazing, but you only really want to play 1 or 2 of them max, and then you play a play style around them. But because they're unique and they can only be 1 copy, you can't draw them. If you could run 3 copies of Shiraela's and pretty much guarantee Ornn would get it, he'd go to B tier at a minimum. Ezreal, I'm putting him high A tier. Scrap Heap, Cold Shot, Fight or Flight, Obelisk, those are all big nerfs to Ezreal losing them, in my opinion. However, Ezreal's quite a versatile champ, got a lot of different ways of playing him. I still think he's going to be a contender. I think he's probably the highest skill ceiling there is right now in Riftbound. I think he's very hard to play. I beat him every time I play against him generally, probably because the people playing him, whilst they might be decent, probably just can't fully unlock his power. So I see someone like Alan ZQ, one of the best players in the world, excel on him. I think it's a very fun deck if you're into that style, and I think he's still going to be good. I just think he's going to need to be built a bit differently than the miracle shells we've been seeing. Azir, B tier, fairly solid card, decent colour combo for what he does. I just think he's a bit too rune intensive, and I don't think he's consistent. Well, that would be one of the things really stopping him elevating to A tier. But the battlefields and coloured nerfs to purple didn't really hurt Azir whatsoever. So yeah, I don't think he's changed much though. Sivir, I'm gonna go low A. I think she's better than MF now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move some of these into high B. I think there's just too much in some of these tiers. But MF to Yi are borderline all very close to A in my opinion. I think Sivir is a bit more consistent than MF. Her power thing's pretty nice. She can ready units a bit quicker if she wants to go on the hunt. She can just generate gold a bit quicker, and I think that's a little bit better. Chosen Champ as well, not quite as good MF in some ways, but can get online a little earlier. And she doesn't de-ramp like MF does. So I think she's ever so slightly better. This is the tier list we've got though. I'm not like set in stone on this. I'm very interested to see how regionals plays out. If we see a big shake up there. I don't think we'll be seeing Draven getting more than 50% top cut every time. And yeah, as always, I really do appreciate you all tuning in. Interested to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Always take on board what you guys say. I'll try to respond to everything. Hopefully see you all in the next one. Peace.